And welcome back. So I didn't end up doing another session last night because of various things, including being dead tired. And honestly, okay, so I'm going to just cover this in brief here because I'm not going to be able to show you retroactively here. So there is quests in the diner next to Hammerhead. And it was getting really, really silly because a lot of it was just go and collect this ingredient and that kind of stuff. So it was just like I had everything and was just giving him like thing after thing after thing, and finally it's like go here and kill something, which I did. Anyway, as part of that, it's like the third one that you have to do for him, which is basically go and kill those bird enemies that just happen to be around in the area near Hammerhead. And it gets you a new recipe, and so, well, it doesn't get you a new recipe, it gets you a new item in. You can buy something, and that gives you a new recipe. So, I like I said, I can't. I figure it's not even worth trying to go back for because it's just a matter of kind of took care of itself because like go get the meat of this bird for me. I'm gonna make something new, and he did. And I went and I bought it, and that got me a new recipe, which is the exact same thing more or less. So, let's see here. What quests do I have going right now? Scraps of Mystery I'm just gonna take care of, like, on my own time. That's not engaging having me just go around an area complaining. So... let's see here. Yeah, we'll go for this.
Everything in order?
Yep.
All right.
I'll pick up my recipe hunt after taking care of this, I guess. Because I have to get that page back up here. So, anyway, I haven't been using my professional mic because honestly there's just so much noise right now in the house. Something is vibrating with the air conditioning, which you might be hearing right now, or which you might have heard in the last couple of sessions as well. And it's like the air conditioning is blowing cold air, so it's not broken, and I've traced it to the fact that something is just completely out of balance in the AC unit outside, and it's just vibrating the entire everything, all the vents and everything. So, as long as it still works, I'm not going to worry too hard about it. I have so many things on my list with this house right now. As long as it works, I'm okay. So, but, it,
Great day for a walk, huh?
so yeah,
I can't just leave my car and walk home. You saved me a long trek.
I'll worry more
That
about...
couldn't have gone any better.
I'll worry more about my repair kit stock when I don't literally have my car, where you can buy repair kits like 3 feet away. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. Ah. A marker. Okay. Oh my gosh, these people are gonna be complaining about the cold, aren't they? That is some very wet dudes. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, of course I can't change it now that I'm in battle. Where are they?
Man, that hurts.
Another headache. This is not normal.
Alright, these guys are weak to shields and machinery. I happen to have machinery. I will equip a shield here quick. You know, it's actually kind of funny about Boulette, because it actually can trace its lineage all the way back to Ultraman, which is kind of funny, because it came from Ultraman into some cheap dinosaur rip-off stuff here in America, which made its way into D&D. And so it just not what I intended to do. Okay. Anyway, so Boulettes, anyway, they were just kind of, you know those little plastic dinosaurs you can still get in supermarkets and stuff? So those were sold in America under, like, you know, various just crappy little dinosaur lines, and
Yep, right. Got it.
None the worse for wear.
so, Ultraman rip-off stuff basically sold as crappy dinosaur stuff, and then Gary Gygax comes along and starts making D&D, and people have been interviewed and actually said that he just brought in a bag of these things and said, we need monsters, come up with the story for this guy here. Just handing these things out and being like, come up with the background for what this is. And so one of those ended up becoming the Boulette, which ended up getting into Final Fantasy from D&D along with other things. The curls are actually from an old sci-fi story that probably came to Final Fantasy by way of Displacer Beasts, which were also based on that same general idea.
Ready for
Curls
more? You bet.
in the original story, who I don't remember off the top of my head who wrote it or what the story was.
Where do we go from here?
What do we even, what did I, oh my gosh. Wait, that wasn't my goal? Did I just switch into literally, or did I just not accomplish what I was supposed to accomplish? That's, I'm not gonna question it. There's something off that way, there's something to harvest here. I'm totally stealing a farmer's peas right now, but you know what, I'm kind of the king at this point, so technically I do what I want. So, but, anyway, Curls. The original story, I don't know who wrote it or what it was called off the top of my head. I'm sure it's in Final Fantasy Wiki. But they were supposed to be hyper-intelligent feline aliens with tentacles. So...
Ah! You must be the hunters my uncle mentioned. Thanks for coming. Without further ado, we need you to harvest crops.
Harvest?
This might be a farm, but we're still in the middle of wilderness. Normal folk can't do the work safely. That's where you come in. Good luck.
Slave Vortooth's on the farm. That doesn't sound like harvesting. What are you guys doing? Seriously, what were you doing? Were you trying to reach something? I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, if you're gonna stand on anybody's shoulders, Gladio is probably the best choice. I think I just totally stole a piece of their wall. Oh, this is gonna be like nothing. Well, we'll take you on.
You're on fire!
No big deal.
Knocked another one out.
Harvest green beans. Okay.
Back to it.
Right.
Huh. This satisfies the quota, I believe.
Literally. This is so easy. Items. Are these actually something that I can get? They're not food, so that must mean they're a key item. Are they? Oh, leisure goods. Yeah, so that's not actually something that's going to go in recipes, which I can deal with that. Hold on, let me just take these peas while we take these beans.
Wonderful. All that's left is to deliver the veggies to the shop. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, Giganto.
I'll go in first and stop them. You follow.
Okay.
I'm more of a leader.
Not today, you're not. Let's go.
What are you weak to? Weak to spears and machines. Well, that...
Showtime.
Let's hope it's not a tragedy.
Okay, I need the Gable Oak. Who has the gay bulb? Oh wait, here we go. I need to break an appendage.
Hey, attaboy!
There we go. Gabolg, if nothing else, is still good for breaking appendages.
Never any doubt. My pleasure.
Gladio, do it!
No quarter.
Nice work, Gladio.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna say that I can understand that farmers would not necessarily be able to handle a Gigantode, or even a sufficiently large pack of Vortooths, I suppose. Just being real honest. Now, I mean, I hate to say it, but you kinda have to be able to handle at least a little bit of that, so like, I don't know, you don't have to be great or anything like that, but the level 12 Vortooths, maybe, you know, if you're going to just have them roving around and your fences are not going to stop them, either A, actually make higher fences that are worth a darn, or B, get good. So,
Everything in order?
Yep.
just saying, you know, but a Gigantode is big enough to fit you in its mouth. So, like, for just normal, everyday farmers, yeah, I'm not going to expect you to be able to handle, you know, a Gigantode, unless in numbers. And, you know, okay, I'm gonna admit the Vortooths, if you have some guys, then that's pretty reasonable. Like, just not necessarily having to hire out hunters for that kind of thing, but just get some dudes. You've got pitchforks, your farmers, you know. I mean, they're only level 12, which is just one of those things where it's like DBZ, where like the bad guys come to Earth and the first thing they do is just like, oh, here's a random farmer. Wow, he has a power level of 5. You know, farmers, I understand, don't need to learn how to fight that badly, but they should be there are things you can do to mitigate that kind of thing. Now, a Gigantode is big enough where it's going to go wherever it wants. It can probably jump super high, or maybe not, because that's really more of a frog thing than a toad thing, but, like, it could probably crash through any decent barrier you're going to put up, and it's going to do whatever the heck it wants. It's a toad. It doesn't care. Whereas, like, Vortooths are pack animals, but they're small. They're not going to be climbing over a good, decent, like, 8-foot fence. Which is just what you should really have if you're going to have those problems. Because, I hate to say it, those little 2-foot fences they got around and those 2-foot walls are not keeping anything out. Those are a courtesy. So... just like, not necessarily a cyclone fence, because cyclone fences, and I hope that I don't get hit with a copyright strike just for saying that, But those chain link fences are actually like crazy expensive, but a good old wooden picket fence, those are relatively cheap. Cat, no, that's my microphone. That's not a toy. You don't eat that. I got my kitty here. She's being all cuddly, which means that she's hungry. But it's 5 o'clock. You don't get fed until 6. Anyhow. So I guess with all of that stuff that I've purchased to improve my fuel economy, I can see it kind of adding up a little bit here. I think that not necessarily worth the what was it?
Stock up on potions and stuff.
Like
Nice. You're being helpful for a
1,200.
change.
What do you mean for a change?
Not necessarily worth the, like 1,200 because I think it was like 600 each. Or maybe it was 6,000, which is crazy and not... I don't know if it was worth what I spent on it, but... This still is not
Everyone
giving
here's so
me...
stylish. We're stuck in drab old black.
Why not try wearing your official Lucian battle gear with pride?
You might even become a real trendsetter around here.
I'm just not getting that recipe anytime soon, am I? I hope I didn't miss out on it. That wouldn't make me a very good guide maker. It also wouldn't make me a very happy completionist. That's one of those things is that a lot of people say, oh, I'm a completionist, and then they, like, finish games. I am a true completionist. I can count the number of games that I've actually finished on one hand, probably. If I actually thought about it, I might maybe do more. But like Pokemon, that kind of thing is my absolute bane. Because I do have to catch them all, and it's just like, yeah. And this is not where I need
Can't
to go,
top the
is it?
aroma of bread being baked. What are you in the mood for today?
There are no hunts here. That's kind of interesting.
Thank you.
Another scorcher. Ought to pack our bags for leave and cool down there.
Anyway.
Charming town, if a little warm for my tastes.
Anyway. So, Prompto's comment on wearing black.
I'll get something to
Let's cover that quick while I have to pick my way through the town back to the market here. Black is actually a really important color to the royal family and those associated with them in Lucis. So the fact that they're all wearing black basically is because it's royal colors, which is kind of funny because it's very backwards from how things are in real life. How do I get there? Good grief. Okay, we'll try going through here. Black is actually
Man, that hurts.
a poor person's color in a lot of history just because it's so easy to make. Like, you just throw enough colors on something and you get black or something close to it. So things like black and brown were always peasant colors, whereas things that were expensive, things like
What to buy?
purple, were always super royal colors, and that's why we have the association with royalty.
I think I'll get something to drink.
Welcome!
I don't see it here.
If it's not on the shelf, you're out of luck. It's gonna be a while before we get any new stock in. The whole last delivery fell off the guy's truck. We'd go and pick it up, but that area's too dangerous. I can't say when the next shipment will come in.
Oh,
That is, unless you're willing to go and fetch the shipment for us.
yeah. I think we can handle it.
Okay. So anyway, the reason purple is so crazy expensive is because the easiest, or at least, okay, it's not easy to get. That's the entire point. The most obvious way of getting it in, until mauve was invented, accidentally looking for a way to synthesize quinine, the easiest way, or really more or less the only way you were going to get a decent purple, was by getting a whole bunch of snails and either poking them all day, or essentially throwing them in whatever the medieval equivalent of a blender was, and doing it like that. So, I know that is a horrible image, but yeah, basically, if you know what a conch is, you can basically kind of imagine what a Murex snail actually is.
Much obliged, boys. Ah, doesn't get fresher than this. Say, this is your harvest. Should try it.
Maybe some other time.
Come now, don't be shy. Thanks to you, we can offer our veggies at special prices. Take your time, and let me know if you need help.
Oh, cool.
You have to go far to find veggies this fresh.
Gotta be tasty.
Why not give it a try?
Don't feel like it right now.
Like you ever feel like it.
Okay, so if it hasn't become excruciatingly obvious yet, Noctis does not like vegetables. Never has, ever since he was a kid.
Ah, welcome back.
And that's right, I don't have a whole lot of money right now. I
Thank
went
you. Please come
on
again.
a huge shopping spree and pretty much just destroyed my funds. Come on. Come on, quest.
Hey there. You boys still hunting up a storm? Say, if you have time, there's more harvesting that wants doing. Head over to the farm if you're up for it.
Okay. So, anyway, clothes colors. So yeah, basically snails were the only way, and I mean, this isn't like a little escargot style snail. These things are huge conch snails. Like, these are the kind of bug that hit you with their shoe. So, it just, but that's basically what it is it's more or less their defense mechanism, similar to squid ink. And it just happens to be purple, and one of the few known purples in the ancient world up through the Middle Ages, and even into what you would kind of consider modern-ish times, until, you know, somebody was actually in a lab trying to synthesize quinine, and failed, but made mauvine, which mauve was the first synthetic purple, and, if I recall correctly, the first synthetic color? So, it basically made purple suddenly extremely affordable to everyone. And it was, kind of a big deal at the time. So... Okay. So when you look at things like purple or even red, because red comes from... I mean, it's easier to come by, not necessarily for clothes dyeing, but I mean, there are
Stinking hot.
plenty of red berries and all of that kind of stuff. And, so red and, like, rose madder, that was a very common old red, was rose madder, which it's actually a pretty nice color. I have done a lot of research, actually, on, period colors that people had available to them. So... but yeah, so something like rose madder was very available to the peasantry. For a while there, red was actually very popular in wedding dresses. Believe it or not. It was, I'm gonna need to find a hotel to stay at or something. So, but yeah, wedding dresses in the Middle Ages, red was the color to have, actually. Which is kind of funny because everybody's like, you know, you have to wear white and you know, the white wedding is so intrinsically just desirable in America because that's kind of tradition here. It's just funny how traditions change because for a long time people didn't even have specific wedding dresses. They would just put lace around the cuffs of their Sunday dress and call it a wedding dress. Or they would get a wedding dress, but it would become their Sunday dress. And that's a shiny object. Okay. But I mean, people didn't used to have that many sets of clothes. So... I love it. I actually was curious whether it was going to make them automatically go to it or whether it was gonna do that. So there's my answer. Anyway, I will pick this up in the next session here quick.